Hi, this is Jed Wonderly with Noble Home Loans, and I'm back with the second of the top 5 things you need to know for real estate investing. Now, this item number two is going to talk about the leverage multiplier. Now, what that is how much bang for your investing dollar can you get? So typically when you buy an investment property, you might put 20% down. So if your home you're buying is $200,000, you might put 20% down, which is $40,000. Now, if that $200,000 home appreciates 5%, then you've got $10,000 in appreciation that you had in that first year. Now, that $10,000 would be a 5% return on investment if you paid cash for the home. But since you only invested $40,000, and we're not, of course, going to include, for mathematical purposes in this discussion, we're not going to include the closing costs, but you'll have paid closing costs. But for that $40,000 investment, by the way, a lot of those closing costs, because it's an investment property, are going to be tax deductible, but that's a whole other story. But based on that $40,000 investment, that $10,000 in appreciation is a 25% return on investment. Now, that means that you've got a leverage multiplier of 5 since you put 20% down. If you were to put 25% down, your multiplier would be 4. And the way that works is because you got 5% appreciation, but your return was 25%. So that's 5 times more than the 5%. Let's say you put down 25%. So let's say you bought that $200,000 home, put $50,000 down. You're going to have a little bit better cash flow because obviously with a smaller mortgage, your mortgage payment's going to be smaller, and now because of that, whatever that rent is going to be, the rent's going to be the same. It's the same house that we're talking about. So you're going to have a little bit better cash flow, which also figures into your return on investment, but right now we're just talking about the ROI from the appreciation. So if you have $50,000 invested, you got a 5% appreciation rate, which is $10,000. $10,000 for a $50,000 investment is a 20% return on investment. So, and of course, like I said, we have closing costs to consider, and we also have the rental income and what the net income is depending on the size of the mortgage. Now, each successive year, your leverage multiplier is going to decrease, and that's because you've got equity to start with now. So now instead of you can say, and some people will still calculate it, well, I only have $40,000 into it, but as your equity grows from appreciation and from paying down the mortgage, now you've got more and more money invested in it. So let's not talk about paying down the mortgage because that would require calculations. I've got a spreadsheet for that, and I'm more than happy to go over all those types of things with you in detail in a one-on-one basis, either via a video conference or in person. But for the purposes of this video, let's say that you have 5% appreciation in the next year. Well, if you've got basically $50,000 in investments, the $40,000 that you put down initially, plus the $10,000 in appreciation, and so now you have a $210,000 home. Your home appreciates 5%. Now that's an extra $10,500 that you have, and $10,500 divided into your $50,000 is basically 20%. So for all intents and purposes, let's say now, so you've gone from 25% ROI down to 20. Still a fantastic ROI, and I'm not saying these are the kind of returns you can always expect. This is obviously just for mathematical purposes, although when you consider things like depreciation and the fact that you've got great leverage and the rental income and other things like that, you can expect a much better return on investment on average than you can for things for investments where you're going to have to pay cash for the whole thing, such as stocks and mutual funds and whatnot. Now there might be a few of you out there that are going to say, well, I don't have to pay 100% because I've got a margin account. Well, margin account is going to vary depending on the stock that you're buying. There's some stocks out there that are also leveraged in a way, and so the margin accounts aren't going to let you buy as much of those. And then there's going to be some blue chips where you're going to be able to buy more than those types of investments. But on average, margin accounts are going to be a 2-to-1 leverage multiplier. So still not as good by a long shot as something that's 4 or 5-to-1. So just something for you to consider. Real estate, because of all the benefits that it provides with leverage and tax write-offs because of depreciation and some other things, is just a fabulous thing to be able to invest in and create wealth with. So that is it for this episode of the top 5 things you need to know when investing in real estate. I'll be back with number 3 and hope to see you there. Take care and have a great day.